I've collabed with over the time. Me and my uncle most recently done an advert for VW, so that's Volkswagen Group. That has nothing to do with plumbing, but we are the only plumbers in that video, which is on normal TV and is on their website as well, which we're wearing our logo top. So that's a big thing, like when it comes to socializing or social media and promoting yourself, isn't it? A lot of these brands and all that, yeah, as tradespeople, they want real people like everyone who's in the room. You do the trade, so you understand what to do. So when they're asking you to do something in a video, like could you explain how a siphon works in the toilet, yeah? And if you understand how it works, you will be able to explain it quite easily. And that's what I've been able to do with my social media page, which is just explaining how people can get into plumbing, but also grow as a plumber, and the stages and the things which I wish I knew when I was getting into the industry. One thing I've learned is that you always keep on learning, and that's something that my uncle has taught me. Like every day I'm learning something, and I think I'm getting older when I call him and I say, oh, do you know what, I learned something today, you know? And he's laughing on the phone to me, but he's understanding that my brain is now working in the way that it should be working, which is I'm actively excited about work, but I obviously want to know the answer to things as well, because you know the answer to a job before you get there, yeah? When I turn up to jobs, most jobs, I can look at it and be like, someone can send me a WhatsApp video and I'll be like, I know what it is straight away. That's how good you want to get and fluently at doing these jobs. But it's like, now today as we move into 2025, that's what people are asking you to do. Someone's asking you to look at this job and be like, mate, could you fix this? And it's like a yes or no. If you don't know what it is and you've got to come out to look at it, doesn't mean that you're not good. It just means that you're not maybe at the stage where you can diagnose something from a video. But we're moving there and nearer to that time anyway. I hope everybody understands that for themselves. The growth when it comes to social media and me having a page, yeah, I have a business Google page just like everybody else does in this room, yeah. But me putting out social media posts allow people to see me and saying, do you know what, Jason's actually just a normal person. I am. I do normal things like everybody else. I go to the gym, I work out, I have a girlfriend, and you know, like I just want to do business. But me being able to show people and be my USP and speak about what I do every day, day in, day out, it allows people to align plumbing with me. Do you get what I mean? Just as an understanding. And I would never take away that this learning thing. I've learned social media. No one's put me in that position to know what to do on social media. Again, I first started out by saying to myself, you know what? Who am I competing with as a plumber in London? I'm competing with big companies like Pimlico Plumbers. Guess what? You will never be able to outpay them. They've got way more money than a lot of people and a lot of things, yeah? But if you make engaging content which relates to people, that's something they don't do. It's a great area which you can now get in there and say, someone say to himself, you know what? I want to get that plumber I saw in that video to do that job, because this is a similar job that we've got to do and I think that he could do it. So your online CV is the social media thing. Do you get what I mean? Most people are not really going to people's websites. I've been working in Chelsea and Kings Road, and I work with other plumbing contractors, and guess what? They don't have no website at all. No one has got a website. It's by word of mouth. And word of mouth is by who they know, their last couple of jobs, and how well they went. And generally, when it's quite well and it comes from recommendation, these other people can say, look, I've got Greg's number. Greg is a plumber I've used before. You can give him a shout. 9 times out of 10, they're going to give you a shout. They're not going to ask you about the other job you've done, or they might start off the conversation with, do you know what, I heard that you've got this, you done a job for my mate Martin, and you've done it really well, just wondered if you could have a look at this. And that's how it normally starts. But as we get there as plumbers, electricians, we're now on our own now, and we now have to diagnose every job how we see it. So now we're going to show you a job which we had, and I'm going to explain where it is because it puts a little bit of context into the story which I'm going to tell you about the job. So this job where we work is a place called Upper Brook Street, so it's like Mayfair, yeah? So everyone's got a lot of money, right? So generally, as plumbers, as contractors, we all want to get into them nicer areas where things cost a lot more and you can charge your customers a lot more. But aspray and having a different avenue as tradespeople allows you to level up, but not only allows you to just look at it and say, do you know what? Looking at this job, it's going to be 6-7 grand. I don't know if this person's going to pay, but have you given them another option how to pay? Yes, there are things like Kalana, people can split payments. You can do all that, but this is a another way for you and your customer to say, do you know what? I want to get this fully repaired, get the best people on the job, and I can go through an insurance claim to do it. It kind of just makes sense. But you not being able to offer it to your customer doesn't allow it to be an option. Does everybody get that kind of? Because before I didn't know about this, I wasn't able to offer it. I was only able to offer, oh, we can fix it now and it costs this and that costs that. That's where it stopped. And that's where it stops with most people, because most of us don't really understand anything to do with claims or insurance and stuff like that, because when we think about claims or insurance, you probably think about your car. And you think about how many times you've been paid out by your car insurance and stuff like that. It's difficult. But Aspray are a company who actually have everything in-house, and I've made money from referrals from the start. I want to just be honest with people. I've called them and said, look, I've got a job, it's in this place, and this was a job in East London, I remember. I've called up and I said, this customer, I've explained it how it was to the job. So I've just given it's just like me going to a job. I'm saying like, right, there's a leak here, this problem's happened because of this, and can I refer this person to you? Yes, we can refer this person to you for this further works. Jason, do you mind doing the report? Actually, I did do a little summary of the job, so I do have an idea of what went on. I have videos and I have pictures as well, because I might be making a social media post or a post, so I can remember. So therefore I have some part of the report there and there in my hands. But I've just got to work out what to do. But over this time, I can just tell everyone in the room that Aspray has been super accommodating for me over maybe the years of 6 years, maybe I've known you about that. Building to be able to do reports and to be able to showcase what I do as a plumber, because I only showcase what I do, you know. I don't do what they do, I just do plumbing, that's what I do. But my plumbing situation allows me to put me in a place where I can say to my customers, do you know what we can do on this repair is we can put you in contact with Aspray. Oh, what's Aspray? Is it going to cost me, Jason? That's the first thing they're going to ask me. The minute I say no to them, after they've seen what I'm charging them, they're like, oh, okay, we'll talk to them, Jason. Cool. So now it introduced them and they're able to do their part. Like I said, I come in, I'm able to do my repair. We can make your repair lovely. But at the end of the day, sometimes when we look at some jobs and we go there and we say, do you know what, this job's going to cost 7, 8, 9 grand? I don't know if this customer's going to pay. You might say to yourself after you've went and priced it up or had a look, this is going to waste of time, isn't it? It is a waste of time. You're not going to get the job because the quote's going to be so high. But you've not given the other person another alternative to be able to solve that problem. But now we're going to look at a job which me and my uncle done, and so what happens in London at any point is that you can have weathering conditions in it, and the weathering conditions are always going to be out of your hands. Everyone agree? Like, it gets cold, there's nothing that you can do, right? So as tradespeople, we want to try and sometimes, or most of the time, say to our customers good alternatives or things what we suggest to them. So this customer, we suggested that they have a heater inside their boiler room, which is outside underneath the, so you can imagine, it's a townhouse, right? Mm-hmm. So it's a townhouse. You got to imagine underneath the townhouse, sometimes you have an entry which goes in the bottom, yeah? So you can go through the kitchen, right? They've got a boiler room which is underneath there. It's outside, right? So you're going to get the outside temperature, but you've got everything underneath there. I don't know if anyone's a plumber or if anyone's in construction, but what would you advise for your customer to have inside that room? Because of all the heating pipes are in there. But it's outside.
Insulation.
Thank you. So what else would you, anything else? It's cold outside.
Tracy.
Thank you. Mm-hmm. So, when you suggest these things to customers sometimes, as tradespeople, what do they think we're doing? Trying to finesse them. We can say it properly. Everyone's adult here. Finesse them. You're not trying to finesse them. What we're trying to do is advise good practices. That's all we're trying to do, right? So we suggested to them to be able to fit a little heater in their plant room outside, yeah? And this is how much ice was outside in their plant room downstairs, right? So this was all coming from outside, which we had no control over. The only thing we have control over is the plant, which is inside. So what happened eventually was that there's that much thick ice on the floor. So you can imagine all of the pipes, when water turns into solid, which makes it expand, it's going to blow all the pipes, it's going to blow all the fittings, right? All of those fittings need to be replaced. And this is something which could have been prevented, but something which, it can happen to anybody really, innit? We never know how cold the outside temperature is going to take you in this scenario, let's say, yeah? Because the temperature could drop down really low, and we don't have control of that unless you have a heater, unless you have something there. So in the long run, this is the amount of damage which we received. You know, like when you put on these clips, they'll all bust out because the pipe's expanded, everything's expanded, yeah? So in all, when we looked at this job, it had this is the radiator which we told them to put in, and this would have saved them probably a little bit more, but we had to use this after to heat up the room in general. But I'm going to let my uncle speak now, because he's going to tell you how much the repair would have been if we would have done it as a plumbing job. But in this scenario, us using aspray was something which we could advise our customers to even just go and just listen, because remember, all of the conversations are free. No one's making you pay for a conversation with them. It's just an introduction to see if there's something they might want to do. Yeah? You want to go? Come on, I'm not going to do all the talking tonight. It's not going to be like this, guys. He's going to talk as well.
I'm into social media. I'm the one on the side you never see. I'm just a quiet one. Social media is for the youngsters. I say youngsters, but the thing is, I've got a couple of godchildren, they're in their 30s now. They said to me, we was looking for you online, but we couldn't find your web page. I said, what do you mean web page? I said, don't do that. It's just word of mouth. They said, well, the youngsters now, if you haven't got a web page in it, they don't even entertain you. They don't even look at you. So now, because of Jay, I'm starting to warm to the idea. But I'm old-fashioned. I'm ready to hang up my boots. But I can't hang up my boots because I've got children. Jason's my nephew and my son, and I've got grandchildren. And what's happened now, there's not enough craft people out there to do the works. So therefore, what Jason's doing as well, gone back into teaching. So teach part-time, work part-time. So I can actually, instead of just mouthing off and saying, oh, we ain't got nothing for the future, I'm trying to see what I can do to help and assist. And I hope that everyone in here will actually be on that same path, because you guys are out there doing it for the future generations, so we all got something. But this particular job, it was a shame. It could have gone so much more smoother had they had things in protection like trace heating or tubular heaters, or anything. Just when the temperature drops below 10 degrees, something would have come on and kept the actual volts, which is, as Jason said, under the road in Brook Street. I don't know if anyone used to go to Reeve Gosh, a nice fancy restaurant by the Michaud brothers. Well, this house is only about 5 or 6 houses down the road from there. If anyone's Greek in here, no? Alright. It's next door to the Greek embassy. Anyway, as you flip through a couple more slides, you'll see. I'm not just pushing plumbing, I push all building sides. That's the fire protection there. That's they've got this thing called intermittent sprinklers that when they sense the heat in rooms, it actually goes on. But what's happened, because the whole place froze up, the plant froze up, so if there was a fire in the house, they've got nothing. Keep going. Okay. Yeah, what's happened in the end, we had to put some oil-filled heaters in, because on the next couple of slides that comes up, you're going to see the amount of ice that was in the pipes. That's the water softener. It just sort of blew that to shreds. Keep going. Yeah, keep going. This is the from the hot water. That's the expansion vessel above the hot water. The amount of the coldness in that vault was so much, it blew the pipes out. But you can just vaguely see That's ice in between. Yeah, keep going. I know, that's why you need a company like Aspray, because when I went down there, I looked at it and I went, this is big, this is too much. As you see, these are all the different circuits. But the thing is, all those circuits, every single one of them blew as well. So what I had to do is I had to write a report. First of all, you go in, you make things safe. And after you make things safe, then you've got to start putting together a price to actually put things back. And my price was going way up and up and up. That's why you need a company, someone else to come in to actually take over that and actually be able to talk to them on a different level, because you as a craftsperson, you just want to go in, just do your job. But then you get the red tape, and the red tape means you need to be able to put things over to them in a way they can understand it, and a way they can actually appreciate the level of work that you're going to have to do. Yeah, keep flicking. There's a couple of really... Now, there's a piece of ice that come out of one of the 22mm pipes. I keep going. We've got a couple of chip condensers in the AC bowl. They froze up with over 2.5 inches of ice. You can't even get that with snow. So you know that down there it was really bad. I think this was about 2.5 years ago in the February.
So what we'd like to tell everyone is that this is just another avenue and something to add on to your cord to be able to tell your customers, because we all think about ways on how we're going to make money, but most of us probably never try to make money even on referrals. And it can be done. It definitely can be done. It's just a way of looking at business and saying to yourself, you know what, I've possibly got a solution what I want to run by you as a customer. And most people will probably hear you out generally because you're inside their house. You've already built this level of trust to be able to be next to them, to be able to suggest something. So this is, like I said, I've had a relationship with this lot for going on 7-8 years, and every year there's something different. We come across different challenges. I'll always call them a couple of times in the year and be like, guys, I've got this job, what do you think about this? I've got that job. And again, over the years, I've been able to build up a better way how to present my business to them, but also understand what they're doing as a company. That's why I feel comfortable talking to anyone about it, really. So, yeah, so if anyone's got any questions, I'd like you just to fire away and all that, and just talk about that for a second. Well, I'm going to do some questions. Don't worry about coming to me. I'm going to ask you guys some questions. Anyone got any questions or anything? Anything? Maybe my name's Jason? No, but thank you for listening to me, and I think it's... Yeah.
Question. How do you deal with doing the job and then dealing also with social media, right?
Yeah.
How do you deal with that?
How do I deal, sorry?
How do you deal, you need to do the job, and at the same time you want to advertise on social media. So how do you find the balance between doing the job and actually advertising on social media?
He does the job and I do the camera.
Right.
I do set up the camera a lot. What I find, and this is what's played a key role within the dynamic between doing social media and actually doing the job, yeah? Social media, you're always going to have people who are going to critique your work, yeah? So when I put out content, people critique it. They say, oh, Jason, this is not right, that's not right, this is not right. That makes me think and makes me go back to maybe my textbook or something, and maybe where I've seen something, I'll say, oh, but that is right though. That person's just saying that just to try and get me on something, but it might not be. But the whole point of the matter is that when I'm doing social media, I look at it as that this is a real-time learning right now. So every post what I do, I'm still learning. I'm still working out what's the best method. I'm finding different methods from different people. I went to a job in King's Cross, yeah, underfloor heating. It wasn't working, yeah. So I've been on my social media and I've been starting a video and I put it on my storyline. Someone else messaged me and said, Jason, do you know what? You see those black Gramforth pumps, yeah? They're patented by the people who put the block up, so you won't be able to order one. Saved me so much time. but I was still able to charge for it because I was able to tell my customer straight away, do you know what, this is something what you have to go back to the housing block with to be able to get that, because those specific pumps, no one else can order them because the block has got that patented. And that was an idea of something which I learned there and then. But how I balance it is sometimes I might work and do content, I might start filming, but I think there's just a way which works for me, because over everything, yeah, and over like, don't let all this stuff go over your head when he's writing reports and doing stuff like that, because look, I'm dyslexic, yeah, and I'm still able to do it. Do you get what I mean? So I'm still able to write reports, understand these things, because I'm being helped at certain points. Don't get me wrong, I remember, and doing the social media and being a plumber, I'm only speaking about or doing stuff which I'm doing every day. Do you get what I mean? So I might tell somebody, let me give you 5 reasons why I'm a plumber. I'm a plumber because this, I'm a plumber because of that, I'm a plumber because of that. I don't try to make social media like a part of my job or anything. It's just something I enjoy doing. I get paid from it, but it's something which I enjoy, because sharing that message between other people and getting them to understand a little bit about my brand, about my company, about what I do, and about how maybe I could help them in some type of way, it just opened so many doors for me. I would never go back from it, but I understand some people find it a little bit daunting as like something to get into. But I can only say that I've had really good experiences from it, and I've had some days where I thought I don't want to post anymore. But you're going to get that with everything in life. It's like working out. Sometimes you're going to work out, sometimes you're not going to feel like it. But generally, I've found for my business, it's grown in a way where I don't know how much money I'd have to spend on it to grow at that rate, but it's grown at a high rate. Like I said, the last people that I've collabed with was VW, the van company themselves. If anybody goes onto their website after this, you'll see a video of me and him on their main page on their website. You know, and that's all from social media. I've done stuff with tool brands, a tool brand which I work with called Skills, and they make the first power saw ever. Like they patented that idea, and I've done a collab with them, and all that's through social media. Again, I'm only showing you what I do every day. So if I just do plumbing every day, I show people a day in the life of a plumber, what it's like to be a plumber. I might sit down, we might be in the van one day, and I might say to my uncle, tell me something that I've got better at what I was doing worse at when I was a little bit younger. And it's okay for me to hear the truth, because he might say to me, do you know what, Jay, you were sloppy with the work, you know, I used to be dirty, and he will tell you, like, he'll be like, oh, you don't tidy up them joints like that, stuff like that. And you know, like, don't get me wrong, it's pointers, but it's pointers just to make you better. And I've always known that doing this job once and doing it correctly the right way won't lead to the comebacks and all that, you know. And it's just been able to allow me to scale up as a company. At the end of the day, social media isn't going to make you or break you, but it could definitely open doors which no one else could close for you, as a person. So I'd advise everyone to get on it. And if you're not on it, you should follow me, that's it. So, yeah. And this is on Instagram, innit? But thank you for listening to me. And I do want to say a big thank you to Aspray, because it's hard for us to try and put on events like this and get people motivated, but let them understand. Remember, I can only tell you as a plumber, from everyone into this room, yeah? No one's trying to sell you nothing. There's no selling being done here. Again, I've worked with them for 8 years. I've worked with loads of different companies. I continue to work with DSOP because, number one thing, we make money, period. So if you're in that industry, and again, look, I've come to a few of these events before, and I've spoke to different tradespeople in the room. I've took their number, because having a network, yeah, even though it's not online and it's on your phone and people who've met face to face, it's a different type of understanding. Now you know that, oh, Jason's a plumber, or he's a plumber, or this person does that, and that person does that. The bigger your books can get, it's just the better for you. Do you know what I mean? Because the more people you know, your network is not as big as your net worth, but it can be, if you get what I mean. Have a big network. Introduce yourself to people. Like, we can only introduce ourselves to so many people in the daytime, in that time. But when you put something out on social media, sometimes people see it. Sometimes it opens a door. It makes someone say to themselves, oh, do you know what? I need a plumber. I need that person. Someone's not going to need you every day. But to stay on to sometimes people's minds, you need to be current. Being current is being online. Everyone will go to the train station in the morning tomorrow and everyone will be on their phones. No one will be having conversations. But they'll be watching my videos, hopefully. That's the main thing. But thank you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening.
So guys, thank you for, I hope now you're convinced and you're going to sign up as introducers. We have forms here, which is, as I said, it's like very simple forms. It's not binding to anything. It's literally just to add you to our database, so it's easier to allocate a claim to. That's it. So there's no commitments or anything. So feel free to come and fill it. We can have maybe a live, Jay. We can maybe have like some, I don't know, photos or stuff for social media. There's food. There's Lebanese sweets. Thank you. Where is it?
It's here.
Thank you, Hani, for the Lebanese sweets. It's somewhere here. There's more drinks, everything. So, and we're gonna, in a minute, we're gonna do the roulette for the £100 voucher for all the people that bought Eventbrite tickets. So we're gonna prepare that in a minute. So please have some food, some drinks, and Jay, maybe we can do a